Hello. Let's do a reading. I've been feeling good lately. If you felt drawn to click this video, thank you. Take what resonates. If it doesn't, it's probably not for you. There's 2 cards to start. And a third. Oh, the 2 are face down, so let's leave them face down. Upright, we have... Oh, and before we start, I want to show off the deck I got. This is one of my favorites. Linestrider deck. Look at that beautiful watercolor. And the art, bottom of the deck, we have, what is that? The 8 of Cups. Beautiful. 8 of Cups on the bottom. 8 of Cups on the bottom, and up right here, we have the 8 of Pentacles. And I meant to say reverse. It's not upright. The 8 of Pentacles. 2 8s to start the reading. Let's go ahead and draw that off. I think that is what we're supposed to do right here. Oh, and turns out they're both reversed. 8. 88. Oh no, that's not a good number if you're in the loop. Are you a Nazi? Oh no. You feel like you're not being used to the full extent of your ability. Maybe you have worked really hard. Maybe you've worked really hard on yourself or a set of skills that you have. You've accumulated a lot of knowledge, and that's going unnoticed. We also have the 8 of Cups reversed, and to me it feels like you are feeling as though you've spent all this time gathering knowledge, gathering skills, sharpening your tools, honing in on what it is you want, and you're starting to feel like it's not the right path. 8 of Cups here is like a spiritual journey, like a letting go of things that didn't work for you and moving forward, finding the next thing that will work for you. They're both reversed here, so I'm feeling a real tension between what you want to do and what you need to do, and you're not sure how to discern between the two. Let's get these other 2 cards out. The Fool. So this is a funny card to get here. It's saying don't be scared to start over. You know, you can always start another project, and I am very guilty of this. I have projects that I haven't finished that I started when I was a teenager. I mean, 15 years now. I still have some songs that I'm working on that might not ever see the light of day, and that's because I'm not scared to let go of the things that don't that aren't getting me to where I need to be or aren't fulfilling me currently. And that's to say, and Temperance reverse here was the other card. Temperance reverse, saying don't be hesitant to fill other cups, so to speak. If you feel as though you are putting in all this effort and it is not paying off, the sunk cost fallacy comes into play, and maybe it's time to be honest with yourself and realize that it's time to put one project away in the drawer for a little bit. Don't throw it away. Don't give up on it. Don't be discouraged about it, but maybe turn your focus on another thing that is calling to you. It will not be a waste of time. You will learn skills that you can then apply to the previous thing you were working on. You can see the thing with new eyes. You can start over, start fresh, begin again. Don't be scared to be foolish. Don't be scared to be a novice at something. You've sunk all this time and effort into the one thing, and it maybe hasn't paid off yet, but maybe this new thing is the exact skill set you need to then apply to the previous project. And you can't finish anything without simply finishing it, you know. And I'm being reminded of the phrase "kill your darlings." Sometimes it's time for these things to die, and I think Spirit is really calling you to, especially with this Temperance card, you don't seem very good at being able to discern between two things at the simplest form. You lack discernment and intuition. You get analysis paralysis. There's so much going on, so much stimuli hitting your system all at once that you freeze. And right now you're being called to really sharpen that aspect of your intuition. Be able to make split-second decisions without judgment, without fear, without guilt or shame. You know, these things you're killing off, they're not real people. And there is a real guilt, because sometimes these things are what is most real to us, and it can feel like losing a piece of you when you finally have to set the thing down, give up on it, and move on. But I just want to remind you of what I said earlier, that you can always come back, apply your new perspective to this new task at hand, this new thing that you wish to do, this new thing that you want to see. You should always follow your intuition, and that can be dangerous when you're a person with ADHD or something. Myself, as a Mercury-driven person, my chart ruler is Mercury, and my midheaven is in Gemini, which, to say the least, I do a lot of different things. I really sometimes feel like I'm a master of no trade, jack of all. You know what I mean? That old saying. The advice here is to really analyze these things. Look at your paths as if they're like actual skill trees in a video game. See where they end. Work your way back. You need to work your way back from whatever goal you're going for. And you need to... that one hit the ground. I love it when that happens. You need to work your way back. You need to see where you want to be and work your way back from that. And that is how you can tell if what you are currently sinking your time to is ultimately beneficial to your end goal. It's an easy skill to develop. Just make decisions. Even in the smallest parts of your life, where you are simply choosing what to eat or what to do for your day or what to wear. When you feel yourself paralyzed by that, the best advice is to just make the decision. You might regret it later, but you made the decision. You then acquired information that you can apply to your next decision-making process. We have a few more cards on the table. Quite a large pack dropped out. I'm going to save the 4 that clumped together by itself. Right now we have the Page of Swords and the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands is in the upright. Page of Swords is in the reverse. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Swords represent the intellect. They also represent speech, honesty, truth, decision making. We see, like in the card 2 of Swords, you know, it's a decision-making card. The 8 of Swords, the person chose the wrong decision, put themselves in a prison of their own making. Page of Swords in reverse. You're being presented, it's obvious that you're being presented with a metaphorical fork in the road. And with the Five of Wands here, and hold on, let me see if I can reach that card. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Okay. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is what was on the ground. Knight of Cups, Five of Wands, Page of Swords. It seems that in this decision that you're being called to make, there could be conflict. Maybe you're scared of letting people down. Maybe you like overpromised and you realize that you're not able to meet the promise that you made, and you are really scared of causing conflict, of letting someone down, of disappointing those around you. Or maybe this is a metaphorical conflict. You don't want to let yourself down. And I think with the Knight of Cups here, that's more the case. Knight of Cups is an idealist, is a dreamer. But they're also, when they're in their most evolved and functional state, they are achievers. They set out on their dreams and they achieve it no matter what. I think this is telling us that you know more about things than you are letting on. You have this inner knowledge. You have a strong foundation of intuition. I think you are leaning towards one thing, but this threat of shame, this threat of guilt, this threat of confusion is really holding you back. And I think that allowing that to hold you back is losing the battle, so to speak. So we have the Fool. I want to talk on the Fool again. Just really harp on, it's okay to start over. You start over every day. Every second is a new chance to make another decision, to begin again. I'm losing my train of thought because it's really hard to be on camera, but the Fool wants to remind you that it's okay to start over. There doesn't need to be any shame. You have this inner knowledge of what it is you want, what it is you truly want to do. Understand that there's no shame in that. There's no shame in giving up on something that isn't working, but it also doesn't have to be framed as a giving up. You can always come back to things once you've grown, once you've matured, once you've learned something new. We're going to look at this pack of 4 cards. I'm going to set them on the table just as they are. The Lovers. What an interesting card to come up. With Temperance out as well and Knight of Cups, I'm really feeling like this is more speaking towards an inner harmony between two parts of yourself that you need to integrate into a healthier state, the state you wish to be in. 3 of Pentacles, and that did come out for the mini drawing I did just to gather energy. 3 of Pentacles came out. And now that it hit the table with 5 of Wands, and I made mention of conflict between people, 3 of Pentacles is hitting the table now to remind us that people are actually the way. You know, people are scary and people let us down, but people also help us through our darkest times. No one can survive completely alone. We'd go insane. We'd get depressed. Humans need physical touch. They need mental stimulation. You can't always give yourself those things. So don't lose yourself in these decisions. Don't lose yourself in these choices. And if you do have to let someone down, it doesn't have to be a burned bridge. You can always act with tact and integrity and honesty and love. The Lovers. As long as you're acting from a place of love and kindness, you can't possibly let anyone down. People would only look up to you and see your strength in choosing a decision. Most people can't make decisions, and that's, you know, why a lot of the bad things that happen in the world happen. You know, people make wrong decisions. They don't think before they act. They let impulses take them over. Don't be scared to work with anyone either. This is advice that I need to take. Don't value your own opinion over everyone else's. Another discernment factor, a discernment quality, is figure out who's selling you bullshit and who is telling you the truth, and act accordingly. If someone you trust and value is like, hey man, this isn't working, I see that you're hitting yourself against a brick wall, then you can know like, hey, maybe I should take this person's words into account. But if this person is someone that you don't like, you don't associate with, and they give you a string of advice, they're like, hey, then you can know that, oh, what I'm actually doing might be on the right path of things. So don't be afraid of people, but learn how to tell people apart and build a stronger community. You can't do everything alone. Many hands make light work. If what you are facing, the obstacle you are facing in your projects, in your life, is that there's just too much work for you to do, analysis paralysis, as I mentioned earlier, there's too much stimuli. Sometimes the answer is delegating and bringing people in to get new sets of eyes and to get new opinions, and also to help you do smaller tasks that you can then build upon, you know? So here's the last two cards, the High Priestess and the Hermit. The High Priestess and the Hermit. Interesting. Two very introspective cards. I think a lot of what is going on here is an internal battle between a few parts of yourselves that aren't fully integrated, or that you are scared to let go of. It's funny. It's like the masculine and the feminine versions of the internal card. And with Temperance on the table still, I really am drawn to say that whatever conflict you're experiencing is mostly internal. But that is to say, internal conflicts oftentimes bubble out onto the surface and boil over and spill out onto other people. That may be where the Five of Wands comes in. Maybe your inner chaos is causing outer dysfunction around you, and that might be something to look at. That might be something to correct. Don't get lost there. Don't get lost in your body. Being in your body is good, but there's a difference between being in your body and how do I phrase it to sound cool? Like being overstimulated. I mean, that's not cool, but we can't always be cool. Being one with your body and being in alignment and being in touch with your intuition is not the same as panicking over every small detail. Just because you are in your thoughts and you are thinking about something does not mean that you're being one with your body. So remember to not get lost there. Remember that once you've absorbed and integrated what you need, you then come out of the shell. You then come out of the shell. Don't isolate yourself. Remember community. Come back to community. Ask for advice. Ask for help if needed. Don't be afraid of conflict, both inner and outer. And learn how to discern between anything. Discernment is such an underrated word despite being used all the time. I think it's overused and underrated. But I think that there's a lot of truth to the word and to the energy that it embodies. Learn how to discern between thoughts. Is this a thought that has utility, or is this just me panicking or trying to distract myself from something else? Discern between people. Does this person have my best interest at heart, or are they a secret enemy? Discern between goals. Is this the goal that I really want to achieve, or is there something else? Discern between decisions. Am I making this decision because I think it's going to help, or because I think it might distract from my original goal? It can be scary to follow goals, and it can be painful to finish goals, you know. As I wrap up a big project of my own, there's a lot of grief. I spent 3 years on this project, and now that it's coming to its climax, the Magician just fell. I love that card. And the Fool again. Wow. Tarot is so cool. Well, I lost my train of thought completely, but it doesn't matter because these two powerhouses of cards just hit the table, and there's not much to say that we haven't already said about the Fool. But that's interesting because the next card in the story of the major arcana is the Magician. The Fool meets the Magician, and the major arcana is often, I don't want to say should be, but I will say that it is traditionally, maybe when in context of occultists, it is the major arcana is the story of the inner psyche moving through different archetypes as it comes to being fully enlightened in the final card of the world. And I think I would like to try to draw one more card. It just hit my brain, so I mean, my intuition's on peak, so I'm gonna go ahead and try. But wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something if the world came out right now? Is it? No. Well, you can't win if you don't try. Yeah, right? This machine's hot. It's gonna hit one of these times, and I'll catch it on camera. 3 of Swords reversed. I'll look at that separately. I would like to speak more about the Magician and the story of the major arcana. The Fool meets the Magician, and the Magician shows him that we live in a simulation, for lack of better terminology, that you create the world you want to see. You create the version of the person you want to be. The Fool is naive, has just started his journey, has just fallen off of the cliff into the psyche. And the Magician serves to show him, you don't need to freak out. This is but a dream, and you are in control of this dream. And what you believe is what you manifest, and what you manifest is what you are. Follow the path of the major arcana. Use your discernment to figure out which archetypes fall where in your life, and how to incorporate that into your being. And also, don't be scared to start over, because once you reach enlightenment, the cycle starts again. Enlightenment isn't a true concept. One can't be fully enlightened, can only seek further enlightenment. So once you feel as though you reached the precipice, you fall right back down and you begin again. And there's no shame in that. There shouldn't be any fear in that. You should actually will for that to happen, because how could you ever get better? There's no best. There's only better. You can always get better. 3 of Swords reversed. Oh, that makes me want to continue the reading, but we're already at 23 minutes. 3 of Swords reversed. Now the tarot seems to be revealing to me that there might be some kind of heartbreak. So I would like to clarify this 3 of Swords, and then we will wrap this reading up. Because 3 of Swords, piercing right through the heart. I mean, we can't end on such a cliffhanger. But maybe this is in reference to like the heartbreak of finishing projects. 1 card fell out. It hit the ground. I think that might be all we need. I gotta bend down again. I'm so sorry. I need the better system. We have the Tower. We have the Tower. Jesus, this reading. This deck is so beautiful. The Tower right after 3 of Swords. Now, I don't know if this is like an actual, I don't want to say physical, but like relational. Like maybe someone actually broke your heart. Maybe someone told you that you aren't good enough to achieve the things you want. Maybe that's yourself. Maybe it is a continuation of the inner battle, for lack of a better word. There's a third card face down. I don't want to look at it yet. Maybe you broke your own heart. Maybe you're really good at breaking your own heart. Maybe you tell yourself you're not good enough. But there's a manifestation of negativity in your heart. Whether that was placed there by outside forces or yourself is kind of irrelevant. Because the Tower here is saying that whatever that emotion was built upon is built upon a loose foundation. It's built on sand. And those buildups of calcium in the arteries, you know, they're going to crumble, they're going to fall, and you are going to be in a state of restarting, like the Fool. The Fool and the Tower go together nicely. I'm just making that connection. All the major arcana cards go together nicely. I'm just trying to sound pretentious, but what I'm saying is still fact in this matter. Once the Tower is gone, you have to rebuild. Because if you don't rebuild, it's just a void. So you always need to be working towards the things that you believe in, the things that you want. And they don't have to be artistic. They don't have to be... Maybe it's just you want to read more books. Or you want to finish a TV show. Or you just want to be a more mentally stable person. Whatever that negative block is in the Three of Swords, once that crumbles with the foundation of the Tower, you need to rebuild. And now we will look at the third card. The Knight of Pentacles. Strange. The Knight of Pentacles. This is like the slow and steady card. And it's also of the Pentacles, of the earthly realm, of the health realm. Knight of Pentacles. But the Knight is so smooth and so slow and so certain of what he wants. He's not the king yet, but he is bringing a message to the king. And he may one day become the king. He does that by overcoming any obstacle he's faced. The Knight of Pentacles discerns between things that bring him health and wealth, and he shirks the rest of it. He gets rid of it. He doesn't incorporate it into his being. He doesn't have time for it. The Knight of Pentacles is a really slow-moving card, but that doesn't mean that they have time for everything. He doesn't stop and smell every rose that he sees on his path. He just takes his time. He believes in rest. He believes in appreciating the current moment. He believes in his mission, and he will achieve it no matter how slow he has to go. Realize that there are blocks in you, whether they have been placed from inner or outer sources. The blocks have to go. You have to start getting rid of the nasty thoughts about yourself that don't fit, that don't make sense, that aren't that don't serve a purpose. And once you start to really focus in on your ability to discern things intuitionally, you will come to a place of certainty where you will finally be able to complete things. You will be in perfect harmony with yourself, as the Lovers and Temperance mentioned, and you will achieve great things, but only until you learn how to tell good from bad, right from wrong, beneficial from harmful, and you start acting accordingly. I hope this was a good reading. I liked it. I haven't done a reading in a while, and damn, I love this necklace. I love looking at myself. Yay. All right, bye.